Hello there. This is a Yamaha Pacifica. I believe this is the 412 model. They come with a humbucker and alder body, and I think this is like a photo flame. But they're fantastic budget electric guitars. They punch way above their weight. A friend of mine has loaned this to me, and he's going to loan me a couple of other guitars as well. And I'll be doing reviews. Just checking the fret-ins, they feel fine. I'll be doing reviews on all of those guitars, this one first. But I want to kind of set it up. The instrument is dusty and dirty. I will clean it up before that, but I want to set the instrument up. I want to basically just look it over, make sure everything's okay, that kind of thing. And what I've done, okay, you got 3, 5, 7. I measure relief, or the bow in the neck. You have to have some type of relief in the neck here at the 8th fret. And so when I depress the string down, that's a 12 thousandths relief. Now that's okay. I like about 12 for an acoustic guitar, but for an electric, I prefer something more on the order of 10. I also noticed that, I don't know if I can get it to do it, but I'll give it a shot. I also noticed that these frets are fretting out. I need to take a look at the board. Yeah, there's a bit much, in my opinion, relief in that neck for me. And so what I'm going to do, let me try to get that more square to the camera. I don't know. I'm working with what I got. What I'm going to do is I don't know if you can see it or not. Let's see. The truss rod here, or just from here, they have this sort of like a lot of the old Peavies do. But the screw that screws that in is a flipping number 1 screw, okay? It's ridiculous. These manufacturers, you know, it's not that hard to find a number 2 screw, people. You'll find that most of the screws on guitars, hang on a minute. I needed to dig into my toolbox here. But you'll find most of the screws on guitars are odd fellow. They're a number 3 or a number 1 or like this, or sometimes I've even found things like size 0 or number 0 or however you want to say that. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, what have I got for an adjustment here? A big fat Allen wrench. Don't know what that is. We're going to have to... There we go. That's a number 5. What I'm going to do, if I can get this thing to fit in there in a way in which I really don't want to loosen the strings on this instrument because it is, we're going to have to, because it is These are older strings. He did not give me any strings, and I didn't really ask. And I don't want to break these strings because it's the only strings that I have for this instrument. So, but all I want to do is do like just a if I could get the thing to go in right, if I can turn this, actually, let's back off all the strings. That's what you should be doing. If you loosen the truss rod, you ain't got to worry about it. But tightening one, yeah, you should loosen them. So let's see what we got going on here. Let's try. I cannot get, okay, let's try to loosen it first. Okay. Wow. That's pretty tight. Me no likey that. Alright. That should do it right there. Now, let's tune her back up. Put her under string tension. I'm going to use one of these headstock Mama Jamas, or Mama Jammers, or however it is you want to say that, tuners, to tune it up to pitch. When I check intonation, I'll use something with a needle on it. These things, I do not want anything to do with them for intonation. Your mileage may vary. Okay, now let's see what we've got at the, let's see what we got at the 8th fret. Capo at the 1st fret. Flipping fingers don't want to work today. Capo at the 1st fret. You see that? That's just, I have to deal with that. Press down at either the body joint or the last fret. I always keep it standard and press down at the body joint. This is a 10,000th. So 3, 5, 7, 8 at the 8th fret. That's a little bit more than, a little bit less than 10. If it's around 8 and everything plays fine, that's not an issue either. So here's 8,000. And some guitars can get away with, okay, that's about 8. And you see that problem went away. So, good deal. And we're going to leave that there. Let's see. Let's close up the truss rod hole. If I can find the other piece. There it is. Alright. We don't need you anymore. We don't need you anymore. You have to hang on a minute. I'll need to lift this up. There's a bit of there's still a bit of that. The only thing that will take care of that is a fret level and crown and all of that. We are not going there. The instrument plays. And I'm sorry I hit the camera with my elbow. What I want to do now is measure the action. To do that, I don't know if you can see or not. I'm going to take a ruler that has 64ths of an inch on it. And that is 3/64, no, 5/64, or 2.5/64, so let's see. Yeah, that's, I know a lot of people want super low action, but I know this player, and I know that he doesn't. So we're going to go, assuming I have the correct Allen key for this. I'm going to go up just a hair. Yeah, that don't work. Alright. This is why you have like 9 million Allen keys. Because you never know. I'm going to take this up to 4/64. You have to stand by. And then these all need to go up just a hair. So we're going to move forward with this adjustment, and then we'll be back. Oh, one of the things, you see a lot of people, these saddles are straight across. You see a lot of people that will tilt the saddles this way or that way to try to create what looks like a radius back here. You should not do that. First of all, you want this string laying in the center of that saddle. If you tilt it one way or the other, it'll slide up against where these adjustments are, and if it lays on that very edge, you'll get a buzz. You raise and lower the saddle straight, and they will create a radius, just depending on what the height is that you have set them at. And that's important to understand, because that's necessary for the instrument to play properly. And the idea that that you think that needs that, you really need to go back to school, or you need to find someone who knows how to adjust an instrument properly, because that's not the way you do it. So that's all I'll say on that. But like this one, it's tilted down this way. This is not something that you really want. And I'm loosening the string and raising that up. If you see, I don't know, you can't see, but it's laying right there on that side. That's called bad. Right there beside the adjustment nut. So we're going to tune up and then I'll be back. Yeah, that's where we want it, right there. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to get a cord, plug it in there, and we're going to check intonation. So okay, that's a bit flat. So to sharpen the string, you shorten the string. Just like when you press the frets, that makes the string shorter, and the note goes up in pitch, same thing. So what I'm going to do, and if you're shortening the string, then it's not required to loosen anything. But if you're tightening the string, you want to loosen that string. perfect. Alright. That needs shortening. Still a little short. And it's just a process of what you're actually doing. You will see, guys, they will test the intonation by comparing the open string to the harmonic. That's incorrect. I check them all, like, okay, but what you want is you want the string to intonate when it's open and when you close or press down the string, because that's the way that you play. Beautiful. All right. Once again, I hit the tripod with my foot because I'm in a 10 by 12 room. All the intonation on this guitar is flat. So. Beautiful. Short, or flat rather. And what I would say is you make sure that you get a screwdriver that fits. The worst thing you want to do is try to deal with adjusting saddles back and forth after somebody came along and chewed up those screws. Ask me how I know. Beautiful. I must be getting better in my old age. That was not very bad at all. Couple of little turns. Should sort that. A little bit more. That one, there wasn't much to it, but it sure don't want to adjust. It's almost. it's almost out of adjustment room. I want to be careful how much I turn that screw. We may have to settle for what it is, because if the screw comes loose there on that saddle, ain't nothing going to be in it. And that'd be a technical term called bad, because it'll probably fly off of here and bat me right in the eye. That's par for the course. Yeah, and a lot of times I don't even really need, what you're ideally trying to do is get these two red arrows pointed toward the center, and both of them lit at the same time like that. But I can look at the needle. That's why I prefer a needle. And I can tell precisely how far this needle traveled past or before 0. And do that right there and know whether it's in. I don't need those little lights to do that. And that's why I say we'll switch to something with a needle. Because actually, I don't like that. That's just slightly. That's better. But I don't need that needle. I don't need those lights. That's why I have a needle. Because the needle is going to be more precise than those lights are. You see, both of those lights lit up for a second there. I don't know if you can see them or not. Now they're lighting up. That says that's, and the needle is right dead on 0. When I do that, both of those lights are lighting up, but I can see that that needle is just barely to the left of center, which means it's very, very slightly flat. Just a little bit more. So I'm going to shorten the string a bit to bring it into adjustment. If it was sharp, like I said, I would tighten the saddle and lengthen the string. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Now that's the setup. I want to check truss rod again. Now that I've done all these adjustments. Eight thousandths feeler gauge. Press down at the body joint. Literally no movement whatsoever. That's a good thing. Just like I. Wonder if this tuner is. I think that's a rattle in a nut slot, but let me see. I don't know if I have a wrench that will fit that without No, I don't. Do I have a... Yeah, see if... That's a nut slot. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know how much of that you saw. There was like a sitar sound coming from this string. There still is a slight, but I improved it a lot by taking a nut file and smoothing out this nut, and I added a bit of graphite from a pencil into it. We're gonna, I don't know, my camera shut off, and that's kind of aggravating. Where's the fret file I was using? Well, let's see. This is... Sometimes what happens is they will have a string that sits on. The string should rest on the very front of the nut. And you see people, let me see if I can, they will file a ramp like that toward the back of the headstock. You actually want to make it kind of a curve so that the string is supported all along that. If the string is just laying right on that front part, and it's gone. It's, the nut wasn't cut right. You could probably put a little bit of lubrication back here and it wouldn't hurt it either. But that's sorted. Alright. That is this guitar. I've got 2 or 3 more that a friend of mine, the same friend that loaned me this, is going to loan me. I'm going to do reviews of them on my music channel. But I thought you might like to see a setup. I'll do a setup on all of them. And you'll see it over and over. I may start doing, whenever I get anybody that needs help, because I'm not charging him anything. He's allowing me to use the guitars to do reviews on them on my channel. And for that, I will fix his guitars or adjust them or set them up or whatever it is you want to call it. So it's, you know, win-win. Thanks for coming along. I'll talk to you later.